We've come down to Palmanova because Anita's going to the hairdressers this morning, so I'll go off for a walk and Anita will go to the hairdressers and we'll catch up later. So we're having an early morning coffee. Cheers. Let's see what she looks like when she's had her hair done. We just had a coffee at Tropico and Anita's gone off down to have her hair done now. So I'm just going to have a little walk around Palmanova, and I'm going to do it in a sort of an anti-clockwise way. So we parked in the car park by Anita, which is just across the road in front of us. Parking is okay if you get there early, but in the summer it gets a bit difficult later on. Lots of people park there. There seems to be a bit of a queue for the bank. Just as we're walking up here, a big thank you to all those people who subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's great to see all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. It doesn't cost anything. People keep asking, how much does it cost to subscribe? It doesn't cost anything at all. All you do is you click on that subscribe button, and it lets us know that people are actually watching the videos. And if you click on the bell, there's a little bell there, you'll get a notification that we've added a new video. So no, it doesn't cost anything at all. It just lets us know people are watching the videos and maybe enjoying them, hopefully. Just walking up this road. That's the expert used to be Bob and Carol's fish and chip restaurant years ago. Not many people remember that. It's now an electrical outlet. Bar. Seem to remember going there years ago. I think Anita had something to do with the Bay Entertainers theatrical group she used to be involved with. It's July. It's very warm, though actually in the last 2 days the temperature has tempered a little, so we're back down to about 30 degrees where it has been up to 34, 35, and there are threats at the weekend it could go up into the high 30s, and that's when it starts to get really uncomfortable. Once it starts hitting 36, 37 body temperature, then it really does become uncomfortable. And I saw in one paper, the Spanish paper, that it could even go up as high as 40 in some parts, and that would be extremely hot. So, thank goodness we don't have to wear masks anymore as we're walking around. I don't really mind wearing a mask most of the time, but when it's hot, it's very difficult to breathe. So this is the Palmanova Hotel Palmanova. It's been open for a while now. There are lots of people staying there, and now the Brits are coming. It's getting a little bit full. You can see the flags blowing. It's breezy today, so that's something that's making the walk a little bit more pleasant. So yeah, a few weeks ago we went to the Palmanova Hotel, and they told us that there were no Brits actually staying there at that time, but now the flights are coming in from the UK, and I'm sure there will be quite a few British people staying there. The next hotel along is the Harmon Palace, and that has been closed, and it was closed when we drove by just the other day. As I'm looking at it now, there's obviously work going on here. Deliveries being made. This is cold stuff, and I can see upstairs, I can see lights on. So we're starting to get a little bit of movement at the Palmanova Palace. So just coming up to the door, it doesn't look as though Hotel is actually open yet. So they've still got the curtains mostly drawn, but definitely movement there. If you're not sure about any hotels in the Palmanova area, whether they're open or not, one of the best places to check is the Calvia notice board. And Philip on there is doing a fantastic job keeping everybody up to date which hotels are actually open, and if they're not open, he seems to have a really good idea of when they are opening. So he checks the web pages, he actually goes to the hotels. I think he does more walking than we do. And so Calvia notice board on Facebook is your go-to place to find out particularly about the Palmanova and to some extent the Magaluf area. You can see here's the Harmon Palace, and they've actually got workmen doing painting. So it's all a little bit uphill here, and don't think there's a great deal else for me to point out. The bar open here, so things pretty much are back to normal. Hairdressers, he's just gone to the hairdressers. One of the things that were closed at the very beginning, but pretty much hairdressers have been open the past year, so they've not suffered in the same way as they did in the UK where they were closed down. Right, I'm just going to turn the videos off until I get to the top of this road, because otherwise you're going to hear me puffing and panting as I make my way up. So walked up to the number 7, trying to get my breath back. Across the road it says we're about to enter Magaluf. I consider that we're still in Palmanova, just at the back of Palmanova. And interesting, that sign across the road there's been there for a long time. It's got 2 L's in it, Magaluf. And the modern way of spelling it is with 1 L. And for those who want to know the difference, one is Spanish and the other is Catalan. So Spanish it's got 2 L's, and in Catalan it's got 1 L. So our local newspaper, which is the English newspaper, which is the Mallorca Daily Bulletin, they write everything the English spelling, and where they don't use the English spelling they use the Spanish spelling. So Mallorca is Majorca, and Magaluf is Magaluf, but you'll see it's spelled both ways, and it's always the same place. And some people obviously who don't live here, it's also referred to as the Balearids because we're part of the Balearic Islands. Mallorca is just one of those islands, Menorca, Ibiza, Formentera being the others. So I'm just coming up to the Globales Mimosa. Used to be the Mimosa Park, or for those of you who've got very long memories, it used to be Hotel 33. Again, it's one that's only recently opened, but it is open now, and see lots of towels on the balcony. So the Hotel Mimosa up and ready. That's the entrance, and as we come down this way, you'll be able to see this pool area. Always been a great hotel, and yeah, looking quite busy. It's early in the morning yet, only just after 10 o'clock in the morning. Lots of people around by the pool, enjoying the mimosa. I'll just carry on walking down here. So I mentioned the Calvia notice board, that's on Facebook for getting information. Another great place for getting information is the Mallorca Daily Bulletin. So just by the side of the Mimosa there's a set of stairs that takes you down, so you can go that way down and you'll get down to the beach much quicker in Palmanova. I'm taking a long way. I'm having to do my 10,000 steps before Anita's had her hair done, so it's going to be a bit of a race on. We'll see. Yes, the Mallorca Daily Bulletin, a great source of local information. It's a daily newspaper. They print 6 days a week, and they've got a great website. So if you're in the UK, look out for the Mallorca, the J, Daily Bulletin, and you'll get some up-to-date information about what's going on the island. And they do tell you a little bit about the other islands as well, but it's mainly focused on Mallorca. So if you are coming to the Mimosa Park, and just down is a supermarket, so if you want to buy some water or other things, then you can buy it there, and there's a few other little shops here that may or may not be of interest. And then the road to the left, which if you've watched any of our other videos, you'll know that this was very much under construction a few weeks ago with big holes in it. Well, now they've sorted that out, and it's now all open. We have a nice new road, which I'm going to cross, trying to look in the right direction, not to get run over. And you can see they've done quite a good job, which they generally do here. They do a good job of the roads when they finish them off. It seems to take them a long time. Usually when they're doing a road, they can do it quite quickly. I drove through Palmanova and noticed they'd resurfaced the road, and I drive through that way every day when I'm at school, and so it's been done very, very quickly. Somebody wrote to me and said they were coming to stay at the Harmon Palace Hotel. Lucky you. It does look a very nice hotel. We did call in when they first opened. Actually, I think on their first day that they opened, and they wouldn't let us film inside. They're very cagey about where people were from. But certainly looked a really nice hotel. So that's the Zafiro Palace, is the 5-star hotel. Across the road is residential areas. Some nice houses up there. Next to the road, this road leads us directly into Magaluf. I'm not intending to go into Magaluf today. I should get my steps done if I just walk to the end of Palmanova and then walk back along the front. One of the consequences of making these videos is that we keep bumping into people and they say, "Hi Steve and Anita," and we look at them and think, "Who's that?" And then they say, "Oh, we've been watching your videos." And that's already happened to us once this morning, as we were sitting to have a coffee. Gentleman walked past, says, "Hi Steve and Anita." I looked at him a little bit inquisitively, and he said, "Just been watching your videos, so thank you for that." Makes us feel good. Why do we do these videos? Why are we making these videos? Well, there's lots of reasons. In the beginning, it was partly so my mother could actually see and hear me, and see Mallorca, because she's been housebound for the last 18 months and I haven't actually seen her since February 2020. So it's a one way she can have some contact with me and my voice and see me in the videos occasionally. So that's one of the reasons for starting it, and we put it onto YouTube and we got such good comments. It encourages us to do more. Another reason is this 10,000 steps. You might have noticed I'm a little bit overweight. And well, Anita is definitely not overweight, but she does more steps than I do because she has a little bit more free time normally than I do. And so it's to get those steps up as well, partly to get us out, seeing different places, and trying to get a little bit fitter. And Chris, you've been a great encouragement there. asking us if we've done our steps. Oh, while we're walking past, this is the Aquasol Hotel. Really nice family-owned hotel, this one. I've sat by the pool. I've not actually stayed in any of the hotels in Palmanova, but if I was staying in one, I probably might choose that one. Partly because it's owned by a family, and we taught the girls, Lara and Vanessa. Vanessa, it's another hotel in Palma which I've not been to. Across the road, see some construction work. It always interests me how they construct here, and you can see from this one, it's basically steel and concrete. Lots of concrete and steel girders, and most places here are made like that. Though they do have different ways of constructing. Mostly it's steel and concrete in that one. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like in the end, but it's very, very concrete. I've walked up a little hill, now I'm walking down a little hill. So this is nice. And always trying to stay in the shade. One thing we've missed during the pandemic, particularly last year, was, well, even this year, was the lack of aeroplanes. I've just been reminded of that. I've seen an aeroplane going over, usually in the summer months. There's one going over every couple of minutes, coming in or taking off. I suppose if one comes in, one goes out. So yeah, we've not seen quite as many as usual yet, but certainly a lot more now than there were before. If you've been keeping up with the news, you will know that the numbers of COVID cases here in the UK and in most places really have begun to skyrocket, and Germany's got a bit panicky about it, and they've started suggesting that people don't come to Mallorca. Mallorca government is saying no, it's still perfectly safe. Very few people in hospital here with COVID. I think we're in the teens in the ICU in Mallorca, and on the other islands it's a lot less as well. But the actual number of tests proving positive seems to have gone up a lot. But the reason I'm not too concerned is because the people who are testing positive tend to be younger, and they are not being affected. So they've speeded up the vaccinations. There's Cas Sabonaires, who some apart hotels, some people have been saying they're going to stay there. So we're going to carry on along the road here, straight in front of us. That takes us down to Palmanova. I've just got to cross this road. This used to be the Guardia Civil. It's now Justice of the Peace. Post office is also down there, and I've got a red light. And just down that road is where the Guardia Civil officers were killed during the bomb explosion quite a few years ago. I'm just going to cross over. So there is a memorial down here to those Guardia Civil officers whose car was blown up. Post office is down there, and there are some more offices, which there's a theatre down there as well, and some offices referred to as EFOC, which are educational or work-related offices. I'm going to cross the road again because the lights say I can, and it's a bit more shady on this side. So we're just walking past the Sabonaires Hotel. So those people who are asking where it is, this is where we're going past now, and you'll see the entrance in a moment. there's the entrance, car park outside. Again, it's not a place I know anything about really, other than it exists, because we've never stayed in any of them, and these are our family. Three stars, all open and running. Parking station to park your electric car, should you hire one. Car hire prices have gone through the roof to dizzying heights. So I just hope they're not biting their own tail. And this is the Zafiro Palmanova, 4 stars, so related to the Palace, but this is the 4-star version. Still looks very nice, and this is now open. Supermarket attached to it is now open, and you're only a very short distance from the beach, which is just down this road. Hoping I can fit down there, maybe not. Cross over again. I think there's a bit more shade on the other side. So, Anita and I are always looking out for shade. I think people who live in Mallorca, they must have fantastic suntan as well. If we get a fantastic suntan, it's more by accident than intention. So there's the Zafiro. Right next to the Zafiro, just a little bit further down, is the Costa del Mar, and that is a hotel that some of our family have stayed at in the past, and they certainly liked it. More like an apart hotel there. Their room was more like an apartment. I don't know if they're all like that, but they had a great holiday there. And I'm just looking at the sign. It's part of the Census group, and they have another hotel which we have just walked through, which is really smart. Census Palmanova. So there's the entrance now to the Costa del Mar. It's got 4 stars, so very nice. It's a nice shady spot here. There's a ferreteria. Ferreteria is the ironmongers. Get everything from a nail to a ladder, a broom or a brush. And we're just coming down to the bars. One of the most asked about bars is Papa's Bar, and surprisingly it's still not open. So it's a bit disappointing. I was expecting Papa's to be open there. Just going to cross the road here because if you're not asking about Papa's, you're probably asking about COVID tests, PCR tests and all of the like. And this is just one of the centres where you can get your PCR test, get your result in 24 hours. You need to check to make sure whether it's a PCR test or an antigen test. But here you can come and do that. There are lots of places, so this is not the only one. But if you're staying in a hotel, probably the best thing to do is ask in your hotel. I'm sure they're going to be able to tell you exactly where the closest PCR test is. So there's Papa's Bar, and sadly it doesn't appear to be open. I don't have any further information on that one. I know lots of people have been asking me. The bank across the road, which is the Santander, was probably one of the first banks I ever used. So I came over here as a teacher. They used to pay me with a cheque, and this was the bank that the cheque. So I used to come here and cash the cheque at the end of every month. So this road goes up to Terranova. You've got EastEnders and Prince William up there. We're sticking to Palmanova. So I'm just crossing the road here now and going towards the beach in Palmanova, and then we'll walk down. We did come here last week. I met Jan, whose son is actually manager here at Origin. Had a lovely evening with them. Origin being upstairs just above the olive tree, another place that we like to go to. They did have live music on the night we were there. I think most nights they have live music, and great place to sit, particularly in the evening. There was a nice breeze, watch the sun go down, and it overlooks the sea, so you can see all the boats. So that was really quite pleasant. So that's Origin, which is just up there. So there you go, Origin roof terrace, and right at the top. I think it might be a little bit hot up there now, so it's an evening place, I think, and that's the view you get out at the front. You'll see there's a tractor there. You might think, what's the tractor doing on there? Well, they go over the beach, and it's one way they clean up the beach. Industrial cleaning for a beach. The beach is very well kept. It's like the jewel, isn't it? There's the olive tree. Not open at the moment, it's early in the morning, so it's to be expected. These four-wheel bikes, which I've been threatening to have a go on. Reminds me of Rill. Rill being in North Wales, where my family used to go on holiday. Have a week in a caravan or camping in a tent. One of the campsites we used to use was in the grounds of Grick Castle, which we always pronounced Greech Castle, which nobody had ever heard of until last year or this year. They held one of these reality programs. Was it I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? And it was in the Grick Castle. We'd always been pronouncing it Greech Castle, which is the wrong pronunciation apparently, until we went to university there in North Wales, and listening to the local radio, they were talking about this Grick Castle, and we realised what it was. When I went there as a boy, probably only, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, we were actually camping in the grounds of the castle, and we had a great time. I had a great time. We've got a big castle there. And in those days it wasn't derelict at all. It was a place where you've got a big red carpet leading up, where there were knights in shining armour, and it was just perfect for a little boy. It seems as though in the intervening years it's been let go terribly, which is a bit disappointing. But maybe some of the funds that they're going to get from the TV rights will enable them to restore to its former glory. So we're just walking past the bars, and I've got to walk past this back this way, so on the way back I'll video the bars a little bit more. But lots of boats out there, and we're just coming up to the Hawaii, and this area is looking totally different from the last time Anita and I came down here, because all of this was totally deserted. The pool was a funny shade of green. Obviously there were no holiday makers. Well, now it's all changed. The pool pumps were turned back on, and the water's looking very inviting. Quite a few people already in there, and lots of people on the sunbeds. It's a great place to come to the end here to view over Palmanova, so I'm just going to walk to the end. A nice little beach bar as well. Sure is.
Oh my God! How are we, fella?
I'm very good.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you enjoying the holiday?
My mate's not going to believe that I've seen you. You were over me bump into you.
Oh, there you go. Anita's gone to have her hair done, so I've come to a little walk around.
Oh, that's nice.
How are you doing anyway?
Oh, I like it all, mate.
Yeah? You having a good time?
Sound. You alright?
Oh, we're great. We live the life here, that's just
You
it.
do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been keeping us updated, mate. We've been,
How was it getting here? Was it any trouble, any hassle?
cost a lot of money, mate.
Yeah, that's an hassle.
500 quid in tests.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what we had to pay. That's what we've ended up paying.
Yeah.
For a lot, yeah.
What about the airport? How was
The
that?
airport was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, the airport was alright, yeah.
And you're from Liverpool?
Yeah, we are.
I guessed. How did I guess that? Well, I'm from Stoke, so I'm not too far away from you.
Yeah.
But having said that, we've lived here for 36 years
How
now.
long have you been here for, yeah?
1985 we came.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
We were saying we might bump into you. Paula, it's only Steve.
Hello. Hi. I've just dropped her off at the hairdresser's.
Hair done.
You've been looking everywhere for you, haven't you?
She cut my hair. What do you think?
Oh, after your money back, fella.
So I wear a hat all the time. You know.
So what are you doing now? Just doing a little video?
Yeah. So I'm going to go to the end, and then I'll walk all the way back because she's at the other end of Palmanova.
Yeah.
So we'll catch up with her there.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch this, it will probably be tomorrow by the time it gets on the internet.
Oh, God.
Enjoy your holiday anyway. See you. So there you go. They've got a giggle out of watching me, and it really makes us feel good as well. Anita and I really enjoy talking to people who've been watching the videos, and some of them it's helped them. People keep saying how much it helps them just to know what's going on here, and keeps the dream alive. They had holidays booked last year which were cancelled. Holidays that were booked earlier on this year, they've also been cancelled, and I think the videos have helped lots of people through that. So here we are right at the end now. Just looking at all those lovely boats. It's really breezy today, so the sea's a little bit choppy, so I'm not sure I quite like it on one of those boats. You're getting to rock and roll on there. And there's the view of all three beaches, pretty much, of Harmon. There's the Hawaii Hotel. That's looking pretty busy. So the news from the Spanish government saying we are definitely going to have a season, and well, just looking at this, it's actually started. children's play group in the Hawaii, looking busy. And another aeroplane flying overhead, so yeah, all looking pretty good. And it's only 20 to 11 in the morning, so it's really quite early. Everybody's coming out of the hotels now, getting down to the pool, getting down to the beach. If any of you like going under the water, the dive centre here, may have seen the wetsuits as we walk past coming up here. So particularly if you've got your PADI certificate, they'll take you out to different dive positions and go diving. Rent a jet ski, plenty of those about. So that's the dive centre. JJ Sports, not open yet, but it'll certainly be open later on. The Scotsman, they're open now, looking really busy. People obviously down for breakfast. La Vista. Vista's definitely got the view. They'll be opening up later on. Use these funny little paddle board that you don't have to paddle. And Key West. Again, open, people already in there. And just above, people ask me about the blue bar. There's the blue bar. Hotel in front is the Commodoro. Commodoro Playa was open for much of last year, and they did close for a while, but open again. And then over there we got the Fergus Hotel. Used to be the, I can't remember. So you can see the beaches in action. All the sunbeds and brollies are up. Again, I'm going to search out the shade. Promenade's nice and flat in Palmanova, so you can go for a walk here and you don't have the hills, which is great for me. And on this side we've got the trees, which are always very well kept throughout the year, and they provide a little bit of shade, so you don't have to be in the sun all the time. I know most of you come out here to be in the sun. Well, I tend to stay out of the sun, but I know you like that. So nearly all of the hotels are open in Palmanova. Again, Calvin Board will update you on that. Philip doing his fantastic job of checking them out, searching them down, and checking what's on the website is actually true by visiting and taking photographs. So Calvin Board on Facebook. So right in front we have two of the big hotels on the front here. One on the left is the San Matias Beach Hotel, which has been closed for a long time, and I don't think it's open yet, but we'll find out in a moment. And the one on the right, which you can see now, is the Santa Lucia, and the Santa Lucia was getting ready to open the last time we walked around, so I'm hoping that they're all open, and we can even have a little walk through. Looked at the weather forecast a few days ago. It did actually threaten rain for yesterday. never actually happened. It's not on our bit of the island. It's muddy rain. It's rain with sand that gets blown up from the Sahara Desert, so it's not very welcome. Changes the colour of my car, black to sand. Just off the beach, it's a little children's park and lots of shady seating. So if shady seating is your thing, there's some of it over there. And we've got two flags out today. We've got the green one and the orange one. There's a bit of wind today, so if you're out on your lilo in particular, be careful. One of the places we've watched getting ready to open used to be the Costa Coffee. It's now Ciso Beach Bar restaurant, and they've done an amazing job of turning this place around. And we have been for dinner there. Very nice dinner. It's very, very busy. Just coming up now. This is in San Matias, which isn't open, but is getting very, very ready to open. All the beds are out, and lots of people doing lots of work, so looks to me as though they're going to open anytime soon. So again, just keep your eye on the Calvi notice board. I'm sure Phil will keep you updated. But, certainly all the cushions and the seats were not out last time we came by, and they are now. When I started this walk, the temperature was quite cool and I was in the shade a lot. I'm getting a little bit more sun and it's getting quite hot. Just going to come around the corner, in particular just to show you one or two of the bars and places around here. In fact, we'll go around all the way and we'll actually see the entrance to the San Matias, because the burger bar in front has been open much of the time, not all the time, but much of the time. And you can see here that a lot of work has been done to get the San Matias ready and open. And there's a car outside, Estrella. Estrella is one of the local beers here. The road we've got the Globales Nova apartments, which are not open. Someone was asking me about the grill next to it, and last time we were here I don't think it was open, but it's actually got the menu up now, so whether that opens in the evening, there's still a lot of fencing work there, but I'm not sure about that one. I've heard one or two semi-horror stories that people have arrived here to discover places like, if they booked at the apartments Globales and find that they're not open, where do they go to? Well, as part of a group they will simply put you in one of their other hotels, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a better hotel than you were destined to go in. So it's not all bad news. I haven't actually heard of anybody who's been destitute yet. Restaurant Mecca doesn't look as though that's opened, but other places are. Rasputin, he's been open all the time, so people who've been concerned about whether Rasputin's is open, I think every time during opening hours that we've been by, they've been open. And again, it's early now, so I don't expect to see anybody there. Anybody who's on holiday here is probably on the beach now. the businesses on here are now opening up. One place that last time we came was completely closed up, and this is now opening up, is this barbecue area. So this is opening up, so that's great news, because that one was closed. So if you're coming in the next few days, it should be okay to come here. Still putting the finishing licks of paint. I could be getting a bit of a shower. Chap there giving it a bit of a hose down. See if I can avoid that. They're really good here at keeping everywhere nice and clean, and every day somebody comes along and gets rid of all the leaves that have fallen, gives a good wash down. Three Brothers opened first, and the Orion Bar, they opened shortly afterwards. We get to this point where we are actually at the Santa Lucia, which we had as the barrier comes down. So Shauna, this one is a bit especially for you. I know you're coming here for your birthday in September, and this has been my first opportunity to actually come this close to the Santa Lucia, because every time we've been before, the gates have been shut. This is where you will be coming in. Let's take my hat off. And this is the reception area. So that's where you're going to find it. So, a lot of my family come here, and I've sat in here many times. And this is the stage area where they do all the entertainment. Lots of places to sit. Wow. This is the pool. And the sun terrace. A lot of my family been and stayed here and always had a good time. See, nobody's inside because everybody's outside or on the beach. They do also have an indoor swimming pool. I'm not going to go in there, but there is an indoor swimming pool if you like to do that. I love the outdoor swimming pool as well. So this is the Santa Lucia Hotel. People have asked about mobility scooters. It's where you have to park them if you're here, and they've actually put in all of these electric points for you to charge them up, and they'll tell you in the hotel where you can hire them from. And as you walk out, this is the way you go down. So the supermarket right outside. Everywhere's open now. the Promenade. So down there's Monroe's. I still don't think it's open. It doesn't look as though it is. And the other bars that are open down there, like Taylor's, Bora, the ice cream place. Chinese here. Something's everything closed. They did takeaways at one point. So the wind's caught the chairs here. It's quite breezy today. And we're now on to the next beach, Middle Beach in Palmanova, which is equally busy. Get into the shade a little bit more. Look out to sea. This is the Bermuda, which Anita and I really like. Partly because they do excellent food and have excellent staff, and partly because it brings back fond memories for me of my uncle, who used to really like going there. He used to particularly like his steaks. Paul sadly is no longer with us, so I just have the lovely memories. The Calablanca, which is now all up and running. Nice pool right by the beach. And a bar, you can come get yourself a drink if you're on the beach. This is part of the Mallorca group. One of the biggest hotel chains in the world. It's a wonderful beach, and we only have a green flag on this one, so no orange flag. But all the lifeguard stations are manned now. Another great beach bar here. So you're on the beach. This is the Middle Beach, and the Chinguito is right on the sand. Already in there. Just on this side we've got green areas and a park, which is where we quite often take our grandchildren, particularly in the winter time. Go for a walk in Palmanova with them, and I'll spend quite a nice little time here in the park. I think obviously when people come here they have their favourite bars and places to go to, and quite often I've not heard of them because I too have my favourite bars and restaurants and places to go to, so some of them just actually new, or they change their names across the road. Some of the ones which are very popular. So Castaways is one that's mentioned quite a lot, but the Il Tano is relatively new. It was up down where there is a Madras Indian restaurant, which is, I've not seen that before, not noticed it. And Banana Joe's there is still not open by the looks of things. And this is the Bermuda Hotel. The gate's closed there, but there are towels actually on the balcony, so Bermuda's must be open. A bit noisy around there. The Bora Bora Bar, people used to ask me about that one, that's open. Head along this way. Paradise Bar. So it's one in the winter time. We enjoy going there in the winter time, but they've been closed all through the last winter. But they're open now. It's good to see they're open, and it's when the children go to the park, it's a place we can stop off and have a drink. I wish this was smelly vision, because there's lovely smells of food being prepared. Across the road we've got the Compass restaurant bar again, one of the places I've not visited, and a lot of people here waiting for a bus. Some people asked about catching a taxi from the airport. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but it's convenient. There is a bus now that goes from the airport to Palmanova, so maybe that's what a lot of people are doing. Across the road there we've got the Census Palmanova Hotel just above the Dolphin, and I was really impressed when we went there to have a look around. It's got access just in that little square there in the corner. You need your room key to get in, but the main entrance is on the other side. There's a road that runs parallel to this road up above, so if you're coming by taxi, that's where they'd drop you off, outside there, or if you're in the coach. But really impressed, really nice looking hotel. I'm sure that's down to the manager. It's actually quiet, reasonably quiet on the promenade today. It's, I'd rather be on the beach, I think. One of the other hotels which seems to raise more questions than most is the Hotel Tropico, which is just on the opposite side of the road here, so it's coming into view now. And the pizzeria, cocktail bar in front, which I'm told is not actually part of the hotel, is run separately, is now open. Did a lot of work during the winter on that, but the tables and chairs are out, and it's been open actually for a few weeks now. So if you want a Tropico cocktail, then that's one of the places you can go to. The hotel itself is not open yet, but Philip on Calvin Notice Board, he will let you know when it's open if you don't catch it in one of my videos. But I think it is due to open shortly. Having said that, I've just seen somebody walk out, so people in there actually getting it ready. And McDonald's is open. And we were coming past here, and there was a big queue of people to go into McDonald's. And I was wondering why on earth don't they go to one of these wonderful restaurants instead of McDonald's? And one of the places that we were really impressed by was the Nova E Tapa, and we had a selection of tapas there, and it was really, really good. Just across the road from McDonald's, and there's McDonald's, and literally right in front was Nova E Tapa. But that's not the only place. There are lots of places around here where you'll get some excellent food and drinks. In fact, when I first came here, the thing that did impress me about McDonald's is that you could buy a beer, which can't really do in a McDonald's in the UK. At least you couldn't. I can't say I've been to a McDonald's in the UK for a very, very, very long time. And also the other thing about McDonald's here was that you could actually get a coffee that tasted like coffee. Those things change. And we've got really long memories. There used to be a bar here called Camelot. It was owned by a friend of ours. A really long time ago. And a leather shop across the road. Bought a belt from there. Really, really pleased, really happy with that. And the man that was serving me was really helpful. Even put an extra hole in it. Thought I was slimming. And there's a Tintin. It's just Tintin. It's where Anita sometimes goes to get her perfumes. Just coming up to Sea Rose restaurant. It's pretty much been called Sea Rose all the time. It's just changed hands several times, and I don't think we haven't been to it with its present ownership. We have this terrace outside. Inside, we used to go years ago from Menu del Dia and enjoy the beautiful views over Palmanova. So now we're to the third beach. So this is, depending which way, it's normally the first beach for us, but for me today it's the third beach because we've come in the opposite direction. You can already smell the suntan lotion in the air. Used to be Ambre Solaire. Is it still Ambre Solaire, people? I don't know. One of our favourite places to go for a coffee or a beer. Beehive, Colmena. Don't think Anita's there yet. She said if she has her hair done, she'd be in the Beehive. Well, she's not there yet, so I'm guessing she's still having her hair done. I just showed you the Chiringuito on the beach. This is their number 2. Chiringo, they've only just opened this. It used to be Abracadabra, and it's had a big makeover. And now it's called Il Chiringo, and every time we've been past in the evening, it's been packed. So that must say something about the place. We've not been yet. American Diner across there. That one that we've been to. Tropico is good. We've been there. This used to be Cappuccino. Not sure what it's called now. Ah, it's Rossini. Cappuccinos have largely closed down. There's not many of them. The Saffron Indian restaurant next to the Tabacos, and my tapas, and then our grandchildren's favourite, the Top Frutti, where they have these enormous ice creams. They make a total mess up. And then we've got the Fergus Hotel. That's been open for a while. this for a few weeks. Just going to come round here. Another one with a green flag. There's the beach. And just to show you a plaque, which is to the memory of Bill and Vicky Brown, who were residents of Palmanova and very good friends of ours years ago. We lived in Palmanova and we've walked along here many times. Again, sadly no longer with us. So more bars along there. Again, we tend to stick to the ones everybody does really. You have your favourites, and one at the end there is Mai Tai, and so that's one we go to quite often with our friends Barbara and John. And then another one of these Iltanos, they seem to be springing up all over the place. Opposite corner there's another big, really quite a big terrace for a pizzeria here, and the only time we've been there is many years ago. They had a 4th of July party, which was part of the American Navy League, and that was there, and we came across the road and on the beach we let off some fireworks, probably all illegal, so that's what they did. There's a little port here in Palmanova. It's a very small port with not so big boats. We're not going up there. I'm going to see if how Anita's going on with her hair. I need to check my steps, see if I've done my 10,000 or have I got to do another circular route. I must say I'm feeling as though I've done my 10,000. One of my favourite types of food is Indian, and we have the Jaipur tandoori in front. We also have a Japanese restaurant, and across the road, part of that restaurant is the noodle house. Here we've got the Jaipur Indian restaurant, which I've been to many times. Another Eroski supermarket if you're staying in Palmanova and you need some supplies, then supermarket where you'll get just about anything you need, food and drink wise. One law they've just implemented, a rule, I guess it must be a law, is that they're not allowed to sell drinks after 10 o'clock at night in shops or petrol stations. In a bar, yes. It's a charity shop run by the Lions. So if you want something to read, the book's there. I don't know if I've walked past the hairdressers yet or not. Possibly have. Interesting place. This is a medical centre dedicated really to getting your driving licence. So anyone from Britain now who wants to drive here, if you come and live here, you have to get a Spanish driving licence basically, and so I had to come here to get my Spanish driving licence. So you have to have a medical. They do test your eyes, test your ears, and then do sort of other tests, one of them which is like playing a computer game, and you have to pass all of that before they will give you your driving licence. So this is the place where they'll set it all up for you, and you pay them about €50 and they will actually sort out the driving license for you, the application. I think the first one you still have to go into Palma to the Tropico offices, and they will then send you the driving license through the post, which then has to be renewed every 10 years, I think it is. So if you're thinking of coming to live here, you've got to do a driving test now as well. If you want to drive here, you have to do a Spanish driving test. If you're coming on holiday, they will still accept your UK license. At one point they were suggesting that you might have to get an international driving license. So that's the centre here. You can see we're parked up there, and now I'm just going to see if I can find out where Anita is. Well, Anita's still having her hair cut in there, styled, or whatever ladies do. I think it's time for me to go for a drink. We'll catch up a little bit later. I'm just going to head down to the front. Probably head back to the Beehive actually, because that's where I feel comfortable going for a drink. And hopefully they'll have a place there in the shade for me. At which point I should have a check on the number of steps that I've done. Make sure that I've done just enough. Switch the video off now and see if I can find a shady place to sit. Lisa's had her hair done and she's joined me down here at the Beehive. I've got my drink. What do you think of the hair? Very nice, isn't it?
I think it's nice for a change, and I'm really happy with Tracy. Tracy's my best hairdresser and she's going back to live in England now, so all the best to Tracy.
Anyway, thanks for watching and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers and bye for now.
Bye.